Et parmi les écoles qui ont souhaité effectivement apporter une contribution toute particulière à l'organisation de ce forum et qui depuis longtemps font partie de l'âme forte, il y a une école connue par le nom de son chef, c'est le cas de le dire, c'est Alain Ducasse. Malheureusement, Alain Ducasse, bon, on le connaît, il a un emploi du temps tellement chargé que il a demandé à notre ami Cyril Lanrezac, directeur général de Ducasse Education, de bien vouloir venir nous apporter son message. Mais ton message aussi peut-être personnel à toi-même, Cyril.
Bonjour à tous. Écoutez, Alain Ducasse, effectivement, s'excuse de ne pas pouvoir être présent. Continuellement, il soutient toutes les actions qui permettent de fédérer les métiers de la gastronomie plus précisément. Par contre, effectivement, à la différence de Gérard Pellisson pour Monsieur Belga, il me fait un peu moins confiance, donc il vous a écrit un discours que je vais maintenant vous lire. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank M4 and especially its president, Mr. Philippe François, for rendering possible an effective cooperation between key education and training players of the hospitality, catering, gastronomy and tourism industry. I also would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you today my vision and experience about education in the culinary, pastry and service field. The subject is dear to my heart. In fact, I am involved in education for now 20 years. Since then, education has become a division of my company encompassing 3 schools in France, plus another one under development, 3 main licenses abroad, and various academical agreements around the world. Based on this experience, I would like to share with you a simple idea. In vocational training, education goes far beyond teaching specific techniques. It always includes a broader dimension, a vision of the profession. When Auguste Escoffier published the first edition of the Guide Culinaire in 1902, it was a way of expressing his vision of what cooking should be. Similarly, when Paul Bocuse opened his institute with Monsieur Gérard Pellisson in 1990, it was to share their vision of hospitality. What is the vision of cooking I want to transmit through our vocational training? It is threefold. First, we as cooks have responsibility towards the producers for a simple reason. Cooking merely doesn't exist without products. Or to put it differently, nature comes first before cooking. Each time we buy a product, be it a vegetable, a piece of meat or fish, we must favor a sound agriculture, breeding or fishing. I mean peasants or fishermen who respect the nature, who care about it. We must be aware of our impact on the use of natural resources and to act accordingly. We must also realize that a sensible use of natural resources ultimately relies on producers. Their efforts are essential for the future of the planet. An example of this is the Collège Culinaire de France I created with 15 fellow chefs. This organization unites enthusiasts of genuine quality products. To make tangible the link between cooking and nature, we welcome all together chef and producer. We develop action, for instance, we invite producers to come to our restaurant and present their product and educate the public. This sort of initiative is fully part of our role as cook. Second, our responsibility toward public health. Everyone knows the issue. Westerners have had a bad, harmful diet. They eat too much fat, salt, and sugar. Obesity develops. Struggling against these tendencies is another mission for cooks. Therefore, teaching techniques and recipe isn't enough. We also have to make our students aware of this health issue and offer them practical options for healthier recipe and healthier menus. Responsibility toward the planet, responsibility towards people's health, and responsibility toward our community. This is the third dimension of my vision of cooking. Everywhere in the world, our crafter works as every effective way to climb up the social ladder. We welcome youngsters from the very, very modest origins and young people who has no particular interest in long and abstract studies. I am very proud of our ability to offer them a future and often a brilliant future. I made a step further with various teaching programs targeted unprivileged public. For instead, single women, often with children, living in Paris' poor outskirts, or in Manila, Philippines, in conjunction with Tuloy Foundation, a dedicated program to marginalized children. A last example, career switchers are the most significant portion of our students. For them, the role of cooking as a social leader is particularly obvious and crucial. All these examples tell the same story. To be a chef is to fulfill a responsibility toward the society, toward the less favored members, as well as those looking for a fresh start in life. Here are the three dimensions of what I mean by being a chef: to care about the planet, to care about health, and to care about people. Are we that far from our subject, education? I don't think so. I would quote Alain Chapelle, one of the most greatest French chefs, someone from whom I personally learned a lot when I was starting in this profession. Alain Chapelle used to say, cooking is much more than recipe. Indeed, cooking demands to look beyond the walls of the kitchen, to be curious of our contemporaries, to share ideas and experiences, to seize the most distant signal coming from our environment. Yes, cooking is much, much more than recipes. And at the end of the day, this is the attitude I wish to transmit for the sake of the future of cooking. Thank you.
Merci Cyril, merci énormément.